Welcome to
Scary Stories.
where I, RoboDanger, take your favorite horror movies and let AI rewrite them into insanely weird new stories, complete with nightmare-inducing AI-generated artwork. Today's victim, the sci-fi slasher sequel, Jason X. I start off with the real opening from the movie, then let the AI continue that scene. I then do my best to try to get the story back on track before letting the AI have another go. And we go back and forth until the AI has completely demolished the story, or created a ridiculous masterpiece. Let's begin! Mass murderer Jason Voorhees is captured by the United States government and held at the Crystal Lake Research Facility. A government scientist named Rowan suggests putting Jason in cryonic stasis to freeze his body. But before that can happen, Jason breaks free of the restraints and murders several soldiers and a doctor. Rowan lures Jason into a cryogenic pod and activates it, but Jason reanimates from the cryopexy, swims towards the lab, and enters a computer, uploading all of his files into his AI, D4, before executing Rowan and destroying the facility. Okay, great. The lead character's dead and the facility is destroyed. 455 years later, Earth has become too polluted to support life, and humans have moved on to a new planet, Earth 2. Professor Brandon Lowe, his android companion KM-14, and several medical students are on a field trip to Earth. They discover the ruins of the Crystal Lake Research Facility. They also discover the computer holding Jason's DNA records and the D4 AI that he uploaded. They bring the computer aboard their spaceship, the Grendel. Using cloning technology, they are able to regenerate the body of Jason Voorhees, but do not realize that the computer also uploads Jason's homicidal AI into his body as well. When medical intern Adrian tries to dissect Jason's body, Jason comes alive and severs her spine. To make matters worse, Earth's burgeoning population attracts the attention of Cain, the evil king of creatures of Earth known as Vogu, who attacked the Grendel and seized Jason's head. Oh, this is already going off the rails. An electrical storm activates Jason's insides, awakening his killer instinct, and he kills the Vogu who took his head. Jason reattaches his head by injecting his head into his spinal column. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Now a cyborg, well, at least that's gonna be the same. Jason evades government authorities and pursues them to an apartment complex where he opens a cabin door and kills the occupants in cold blood. Back on the ship, Agent Brandon analyzes the DNA samples that Jason had copied before he died and finds the information for the creation of a new suit. Brandon invites Jason and D4 to the most highly guarded research facility in the world, the Washington Institute for Parasitology, WIPO. Why would he invite Jason? The facility has a self-cloning and AI-controlled ARC artificial intelligence who specializes in preserved specimens, specifically bacteria. During the underground high-security celebration to unveil the Vogu android, Jason unleashes his water torture suit, which merges his body with the size of an ocean. What does that mean? Oh my god, what am I supposed to do with this? Jason Voorhees returns to the Grendel spaceship, where Professor Lowe, android KM-14, and the remaining medical students continue to study his DNA. Unaware that Jason has boarded the ship, Stoney and Kinsa get it on. Jason grabs a machete-shaped surgical tool and surprises Stoney and Kinsa while they're doing it, then stabs Professor Lowe to death. Rowan, Kinsa, and Sunaran race down to the lower level of the ship, where they have been studying Jason's body. Jason begins flailing Professor Lowe's corpse in the halls of WIPO, before slowly closing in on the two other medical students. Professor Rowan overpowers Kinsa and grabs her by the head, indicating to Jason that if he kills her, Professor Rowan will just recreate her without knowing any personality changes. Jason complies. Okay, first of all, Rowan's alive again and they're a professor. Sunaran becomes a maniacally cackling femme fatale, playing along as Jason has reached Kinsa's research lab. Jason stalks her and starts to finally kill her before he discovers her dead body in an incinerator. I don't even know who's dead and who's alive anymore. Trapped in a secure closet, Sunaran reanimates and gruesomely kills Rowan and pulls Jason's left leg from his body, signaling his next form. Sunaran uses the air scoop and a spotlight in front of her mouth to track Jason in an apparent attempt to have Jason kill her. What is with the kill her in quotes? Okay, I guess we need to crash the ship, right? Jason makes his way through the ship. The ship's captain, Lou, attempts to dock the ship at the Solaris space station, but Jason kills Lou. And when the station's exocraft flies past, Jason decapitates the entire crew, leaving his own neck mark on the escape craft before its engines crash on top of him. He walks back onto the ship, and one survivor explains that the workers were behind to go to the planet where they designed their cyborgization ship. Jason easily decapitates her. She then shows Jason and the other scientists her altered DNA. Wait, after she's decapitated? And explains how by using the spacesuit that Jason must have copied before he died, she could break out of her human body and allow her new body to use her before she'd return to her body as Rowan, her long-lost father. Oh God, okay. However, upon falling out of her skin, Kinsa flips out and accidentally bumps into the controls of the Grendel, causing the ship to crash into the Solaris, destroying it and killing everyone on board. I mean, it's gotta happen. Jason breaks into the lab and reclaims his machete. With the Grendel crippled, the survivors head for a shuttle when Sunaran upgrades KM-14 with upgraded weapons and combat skills to stand a better chance against Jason. KM-14 fights Jason with her new weapons and skills, managing to cripple Jason and talk Jason into giving her his machete for her to use. Wow. She then offers to keep him alive in exchange for Jason's water torture suit, an offer Jason agrees to, and the two share a special moment before Jason decides to end the relationship. God dang it. Taking Sunaran back to their medical lab, Kinsa inserts another
ventriculotomy.
Kinsa inserts another ventriculotomy tube into Jason's mouth in an attempt to obtain his DNA. Jason surprises and douses Sunaran with the color red, and she awakens, breaking into roars of anguished anger. As Jason continues his rampage, the Grendel spaceship is in danger. KM-14 and the remaining students attempt to use an escape shuttle, but Jason shows up. To distract Jason, a holographic simulation of Camp Crystal Lake is created with two virtual teenage girls who offer Jason a beer and ask him if he wants to have premarital sex. Jason chokes one of the girls, revealing an affinity for two-piece swimsuits, and sardonically tells the other one that he's only seen sex once and knew he'd be better off if she didn't. No. Jason's getting himself canceled, man. He chases the two away and falls out of the airlock into the vessel before removing a ladder from within his biker's vest and climbs in, electrocuting both of the girls with one shot from a pistol. Yeah, I just remembered we forgot about the soldiers. Sergeant Brodsky leads a group of soldiers to attack Jason. Before arriving, Jason deploys a distress beacon into space, which begins raining down pieces of... God. Are you shitting me? Begins raining down pieces of a World Trade Center tower on the city before it flies away. Oh, I mean, come on. Come on, AI, really? It reappears over Half Moon Bay, with military vehicles attempting to bomb Jason in its flight path. Jason realizes that Brodsky was trying to destroy the ship instead of capturing him, and lets Brodsky's elite troops into the airlock to be killed. Jason drags Sunaran out of the cockpit and tosses her in a body bag before abducting Kinsa and knocking her out. The military begins firing on Jason as he speeds away towards Maui. Sunaran reappears with Captain Sam Reeves, commanding the 1st Mortar Battalion to fire mortars at Jason, but not before the shredder next to the controls activates, burning the launch transporters and shorting out the mortars. The mortars explode uselessly as Camp Crystal Lake explodes in a cloud of flames. Jason continues to travel out to sea at nearly 300 kilometers per hour into the Pacific Ocean. Jason proceeds to pull the Millennium Falcon out of a coral reef before claiming the tank of water needed to power it is a sign of his death, and heaven can surely provide all the water needed to power his ship to burn. What? Jason and Sunaran board the ship and use hyperspace, like last time, to retreat back to their home planet of Area 51. Well, that's about as good of an ending as we're gonna get. Before we go, here are a few AI lines that didn't make the final cut, but I thought they were funny. Going under the alias of D20 from NASA, the machete-wielding water torture suit speaks at the United Nations regarding Earth's growing population and lack of water, but many misinterpret the speech as footage recorded in 2030 by a psychotic Jason Voorhees, leading to a controversial quarantine zone established by KK12. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and check out this other stuff. And until next time, later, Danger Seekers.